This is my answer to everything.
How you guys doing today? Bob LaChance, Chris the Drummer Bose from this week's Preforeclosure dailygrind.com. We also want to give a shout out to our new site that we're working on, which is shortsaledailynews.com. Everyone check it out. We have an unbelievable newsletter that we give away each and every month, and it's filled with pure content in the pre-foreclosure short sale industry. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you guys check it out. But anyway, this week's Pre-Foreclosure Daily Grind tip of the week is going to be about number one, getting your short sale acceptance letters extended when there's a foreclosure sale date set already. And then number two is getting a foreclosure postponed, a sale date postponed after you got it postponed a couple times. Okay, that's extremely important, and we've been getting a lot of questions and comments on those two things lately on our videos also, and people wanting us to talk about that. Chris, let's talk about the first one, trying to get an extension in the short sale acceptance letter when there is a foreclosure date. How would you go about doing that?
Well, the first thing is to think about why we would need it. A few reasons for it. Title issues come up. Might be an issue with the appraisal. Maybe the property didn't appraise. I know we had a few of those recently where the value came in about $10,000–$15,000 below the buyer's offer. Another situation might be if a buyer had a rate that they were locked into and that the rate expired. So now the buyer has to go back and they've got to re-qualify for the loan based on whatever the new rate is. Those are first off reasons why we would have to extend it. As far as like trying to work that out.
So going back to the lender, that's what you're getting to. So going back to the lender, you'd go back to the lender, and if there is an actual problem with title, you could go back to them and say, listen, we need an extension on this short sale acceptance letter because there's some title issues. That's number one.
Right.
Another one would be a second mortgage. Right. If the second mortgage wanted to see the first mortgage short sale acceptance letter first until they issued it, like until they actually issued their own. That is one other reason. Being that it takes a while for the second mortgage to get off their butt sometimes, so you would have already had the short sale acceptance letter submitted to them, and by the time they got their investor approval, your first mortgage acceptance letter would have expired. Right. That would have been another one. Another one is a lot of times these short sales take a little while, so we have to fight with rate locks. Right, like you just said. That's any other ones that you want to talk about?
Those are some of the biggest ones that we come across. I mean, sometimes buyers have to go and do multiple inspections depending on the condition of the property, depending on the loan they're getting. Obviously, there's different contingencies that have to be met, whether they're a conventional buyer, an FHA buyer, or if they're getting a 203K, which is a construction loan. If it's like a rehab type property.
And another thing you did touch upon earlier too would be the appraisal. This is happening a lot, especially in Florida. We do a lot of work in Florida. Right. And it's starting to happen in our neck of the woods too. In different inner cities that the property values are declining. What's happening is we're actually doing, even if we're doing work for investors that they can't buy it at that price, or real estate agents, because we do work for two different groups there. But anyway, if it's a rehab property and the property appraises too high and you can't do the work and still buy the property, fix it up, and resell it as a profit, that's one of the huge reasons why we got to go back to the lenders and say, listen, the property did not appraise. Either our hard money lender, if you're an investor buying a property as a rehab, our hard money lender didn't appraise the property, so we can't get the funds. Right. It's a huge reason. Another reason is if we're doing just a regular retail deal for an agent, a lot of times we're doing work in depreciating markets, whereas they did their appraisal today, and then the short sale acceptance letter comes back in 2 months. I'm sure that's happened to a lot of you guys. And the property actually declined in value, and the actual BPO came back higher than the actual appraisal. That happens a lot too.
Right, exactly. So, and then, so as far as trying to get it extended, I mean, obviously, make sure to, whatever the reason is, the 4 or 5 we just mentioned, be explicitly clear with the negotiator or whoever's at the bank that you're dealing with. Let them know exactly what the reasoning is behind it. Sometimes if I can get any kind of correspondence from like the broker or the underwriter at the buyer's lender, I'll shoot that over to them just so that they know, this is what's going on. I'm not like trying to make something up.
A copy of the appraisal too may help.
Right, copy of the appraisal. I did that on the.
Or will help.
Right. But just understand that, like, even with some of these, obviously legitimate issues that can arise, in some cases you may be dealing with a bank that has already, in the course of the review, has already postponed the foreclosure multiple times, and the investor may clamp down and say, unfortunately, we're only going to give you another 20 days or 25 days. We have a foreclosure that's scheduled, and in some states such as ours, it may be too expensive. It may be something that costs them $8,000 to postpone, and so just be aware that they may say, we only can give you those 20 days, and then if it doesn't close by then, we're taking the property back.
Yeah, in short states like Georgia, they typically give 1 to 2 postponements, and that's it. We do a lot of work with a top producing agent and one of the Short Sale Daily News subscribers, which is Amy Ransdale. Give a shout out to you. She's killer down there in Georgia. But anyway, she's the queen of getting these postponed. And one tip that she gave us, okay, that we actually use now, is that she's got an unbelievable REO spreadsheet that gives the difference between a short sale, taking a short sale, and them getting their money today, compared to them taking it back as an REO. She uses her REO spreadsheet at that time. She has great success, with using that REO spreadsheet. And I think she's going to make it available on one of the resources of shortsaledailynews.com, which is going to be awesome. So
definitely.
And then let me see. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and the other thing that you guys may face is if you have a situation where a lender, again, in the course of a short sale process, has postponed a foreclosure multiple times, and upon getting in a new offer, if let's say a previous offer vacated, and getting in a new offer, the lender basically comes to you and says, okay, well, we're only going to start this review process, we're only going to consider a short sale if the seller ponies up some money. A lot of times they have the seller have the seller cover whatever legal fees they've incurred up until that point, and they'll typically work out a short 3-month forbearance of some sort or payment plan to cover those legal fees, which if the seller can't.
That's a select few lenders right there that'll do that, but that does happen.
It does happen.
And it's good. It's a good thing too to tell your seller that, hey, listen, if you pony up a couple bucks, you could stay in the property for at least another 3 months. Right. So guess what? That's cheap rent for them.
Right.
And if you guys are looking at my attire, I apologize. It's dress down day in the office. So Chris was making fun of me when I walked in this morning.
Hey, sandals, nothing against it.
Exactly. So anyway, well, as you guys know, as a short sale specialist, you don't really need to dress up at all. So Chris is an anomaly where he dresses nice. So, but anyway, he's gonna do that because he has band practice after this. Yeah. You know what they say, band guys. I remember in school we used to make fun of you guys guys like you.
Well, that was the marching band. That's a whole different breed. You're in a rock band, man. That's a whole different breed.
That's true. That's true. Now you guys are cool, right?
Rock bands get the chicks. Marching bands, not so much.
But anyway, guys, that's this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week from preforeclosuredailygrind.com. And also, we have our ManageMyShortSale.com call tonight. It's awesome. It's killer. For all you members, ManageMyShortSale.com members, make sure you guys go to the site today and sign up. And again, ShortSaleDailyNews.com, brand new site. If you guys want to be contributing editors for you bloggers and writers out there, make sure you guys go there. We'll see you guys, ShortSaleDailyNews.com. See you guys.
This is my